In this video, we discuss what to do if you are nearing retirement and you have no retirement savings. Coming up next on Holy Schmidt.
Holy Schmidt!
According to the Federal Reserve Board Survey of Consumer Finance in 2019, the average family approaching retirement has a net worth of $212,000, plus or minus a bit. Of that $212,000, most of that is the house. If someone is not a homeowner, that number, that net worth, family net worth number, drops down to somewhere between $8,000 and $12,000. The reason I'm telling you this is because if you are approaching retirement and you have no savings, you're not alone. That doesn't fix the problem, but getting on a path to a better future often means not feeling isolated. That's step one. By the way, you shouldn't feel judged, especially on this channel. This channel is not here to judge anyone. It's here to help everyone and point people in a better direction than where they are currently. That's the objective of the channel. All right, let's jump into it. Let's start by discussing something I call the S-curve or the Schmidt curve. This is a back of the napkin discussion I had with someone several years ago, literally the back of the napkin and a pen, where I discussed how people spend their money and the utility or the enjoyment, depending on how you define the spend, that they get out of the money that they spend. In a nutshell, spending money beyond a certain point didn't provide a meaningful increase in happiness. Let me explain. On the left side of the curve, under number one, that represents the stuff that you spend money on related to health and safety. That's the bare minimum that you need to navigate this world in an optimal fashion. And on the right-hand side, number five, is living a rock and roll lifestyle. This is what everybody envisions when they are in their 20s. This is how they think they're going to retire. And this is owning a yacht, flying your private plane to your island somewhere where your Ferrari is waiting at your personal airport there to take you to your mountainside home. In the middle is where most people actually lie. Number two represents comfort. So after health and safety, your next stop with your spending is comfort. Number three is enjoyment. Number four is adventure. And then number five is rock and roll. You'll notice as the graph moves from left to right that costs go up dramatically. But the benefit, you can call it enjoyment, you can call it utility, whatever you want to define or however you want to define benefit, does not go up with the spend. This makes sense intuitively. Will living on a $50 million yacht make you 200 times happier than living in a $250,000 home? Probably not. The point is, if you are miles away from someone you know in terms of net worth, that doesn't mean that you're miles away from them in happiness or your point on the S-curve, because money and happiness don't necessarily correlate beyond a certain minimum. I will also say that the S-curve points out something else. If you don't get to the minimum, while money may not be able to buy happiness, a lot of money may not be able to buy a lot of happiness, certainly the lack of money will provide an unhappy situation. So step one, don't panic. We're going to use the S-curve to determine what to do next. So job one is to cut back on what you don't need and only spend money on what you need. Spend like you are already in retirement. Move your spending to the left on the S-curve. Do it now. Don't wait until retirement, because if you wait until retirement, you'll be forced to do it in retirement. And actually, the difference between being in 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 may come down to what you do in the next few years. Once you've determined what you actually need to move forward in your life, take the rest and put it in some sort of savings vehicle. We'll talk about that a little bit later. The next point, the longer you wait to retire, the more you can build savings, especially if you are now living like you're already in retirement, and the larger your Social Security payment becomes. And for your information, the average Social Security payment in 2022 at age 62 is about $1,200 a month. If you wait until full retirement age, that's $1,714 a month. And if you wait all the way till 70, it's $2,262 a month. You wouldn't wait past age 70 because, frankly, you're giving the government free money. But as you can see, every year past age 62, the payment goes up between 7 and 8% per year. in today's dollars. By the way, if you like this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up below. The YouTube algorithm uses the number of thumbs up to determine where a video sits in the search results, and I want to help as many people as possible. All right, let's get back to the video. So you've decreased your spending and you're starting to build some reserves with your current income. Let's do some math. As I mentioned before, the average Social Security payment in this country is $1,200 a month at age 62, and the average salary, the average income, is $55,000 per year. That's $4,583 per month. The difference is $3,383. If you are average and you're approaching retirement, it would be very difficult, I might even say impossible, to cut your spending from $4,583 a month to $1,200 a month and save the difference. That just isn't going to work. However, if you wait to collect Social Security to full retirement age, your payment goes up to $1,714, and you have 5 additional years, approximately 5 additional years, to build savings. Things start to look a little bit more realistic because you don't need to bring your spending down to the Social Security payment that you would be receiving when you retire. Somewhere in between would be where you actually need to be. By the way, once you hit full retirement age, you can continue to work and collect Social Security, and your Social Security payment won't be reduced by earned income limits. And the fact is, in this day and age 70 is the new age 65. A lot of people are, in fact, working to age 70 and waiting to collect their Social Security until then. People are working longer either because they need to, as is the case with many people watching this video, or they want to, they enjoy what they do. And as mentioned before, if you waited until age 70, your Social Security payment would be $22.62 in today's dollars. So by reducing your spending like you're already in retirement, moving to the left on the S-curve, and continuing to, or starting to save the excess, you're slowly building the funds that you will use in retirement. By waiting to collect Social Security, even a few years extra, that makes a big difference in the outcome. And I know it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you have nothing in retirement savings and your company offers a 401k, you're not contributing to the 401k. That's a very good place to consider taking the extra funds that you now have and investing them there for multiple reasons. The first is that most companies, or many companies, will match, which means that for every dollar that you put in, they provide 25, even 50 cents, up to a certain amount. Also, there are some tax benefits to a 401k. Anything that you put in generally goes in with pre-tax dollars, which means that you don't necessarily feel the impact of that coming out of your check the same as you would if it came out with post-tax dollars. But we're not done yet. If you want to supercharge the process, now would be a very good time to build a second income. Hobby income, retirement income, side income, a side hustle, I think they're called today. There are a lot of names for it, but basically it's an additional income that you generate by working generally as an independent contractor in most cases. It's even better if you're an independent contractor because you can take that into retirement with you. Some people teach, other people go to a place like Udemy and learn an additional skill like Photoshop or Final Cut Pro, something that they can sell to others and get paid per job. Most classes on Udemy are less than $20, and they provide a fantastic skill set that you can take with you as you do your freelance work. The second stream of income is one that you can develop slowly, one client at a time, over the course of a few months or even a few years, and you work the second income stream at your own pace. Well, the offset to that is, where are you going to find the work? Well, fortunately today anyway, there is a shortage of workers across most, if not all, businesses. And if you do want to work as an independent contractor, there's a company called Upwork, and they have an average of 8,000 new listings per day for things like Final Cut Pro or Photoshop. And by the way, with unemployment running sub 4% and employers having a hard time keeping employees and finding new employees, they often go to Upwork to fill the gap. So there's a lot of opportunity there to get well-paying gigs, as they're called, that you can do over and over again. There are a lot of sites like Upwork, but what I like about Upwork is that it's very easy to navigate, and you can go in and see what's in demand. And you can take that information and then go to a site like Udemy and train. Get the training you need to provide the service that they're looking for at Upwork. Once you find something that you're interested in, write it down. Then write down the steps necessary to get you from where you are now to where you need to be to provide that service to clients. But most importantly, my recommendation is to get going. You're not looking for perfection here. You want to get this directionally correct. You don't have a lot of time to waste. Also, check out this video on living on Social Security alone. It's one of my more popular videos and one that you might find interesting. This is Jeff Schmidt. Thanks for watching.